Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide, and today we have something kind of special for you. Boox Palma? So what is Boox Palma? Well, we'll talk about that just after this one, but first a little bit of explanation, like what are these orange tapes and things like that. Well, this is actually a prototype device that I have received a little bit earlier from Boox because they wanted me to check it out and give them my opinion on what it's like, etc, etc. And now the embargo date on reviews and on talking about these devices is off when you're actually seeing this video, so I'm able to present this to you. So full disclosure, this is the device that's been sent to me by Boox as a review loan device unit, but also this is not the final production unit. This is a prototype device that I had early access to. But before we proceed, I just want to tell you that My Deep Guide is a fully independent channel and organization, and as you can see, there are no sponsored videos or anything like that. That is because independence and integrity are most important elements of My Deep Guide. As such, it's fully self-financed, and also it depends on your support. So if you do like the work that I do and you do like the independence of My Deep Guide, then do like the video and subscribe to the channel and ding the notification bell and participate in the comments and in the discussion. If there's something that you want to talk about, that all helps the visibility of videos and helps the channel grow even further. And if you do want to have like more direct on help, well, there's super chat and things like that, but there's also the best way to go about it is to go to mydeepguide.com/shop, and then you can find my daily organizer or MDG meeting planner. MDO helps you with organizing your everyday activities, be they personal or business wise, and it's a yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily planner and a diary and all sorts of things. And the MDG meeting planner is a new product that I launched, and it is also a hyperlinked PDF file, but that one helps you simplify, centralize and organize your meetings all in one place so that you are far more productive. If you're interested in either of those two products, of course, you can go to mydeepguide.com/shop, as I said, but more importantly, in the description down below, you'll find the dedicated video playlists that actually detail what these products are so that you can figure out if either of them are the right choice for you or not. And now onwards with the Palma. So this is the package that I have received for the Boox Palma, and as you can see, I mean, it does say Palma here, but there's also like orange tape, and as you'll see inside, it's not really a full packaging. And the reason behind it is, as I mentioned, this is a prototype device. So let's do a very quick unboxing and very quick first impressions of the device. And I say very quick because, again, this is a prototype, so I don't know how the final device will look like and what it will have, but it will resemble strongly this thing that I have here. So it's worth it to actually take a look at. So when we open the box, I am immediately facing the Palma, and just to kind of show you that this is like a mock box, it doesn't have anything inside. However, I suppose that it is going to have standard packaging, such as, you know, support the documentation, USB-C cable, and most likely a SIM tool, not SIM tool, but micro SD tool to actually eject the SD card slot to be able to put in the oh no, sorry, the SD card slot is here, to put in the SD card. Now, speaking of that, let's cover the specifications first. And I guess the easiest way to do that is to kind of zoom in on them and go through them. Boox Palma is it's an e-ink companion device. It's not an e-reader dedicated, or, well, it's definitely not a note taker because it doesn't have note-taking capabilities, but here are the specifications of it. So it has a 6.13-inch HD Carta 1200 screen, which is monochromatic. The resolution is 824 by 1648, I believe, at 300 ppi, and it has a dual front light with independent control, and a light sensor for automatic adjustment, I would guess. It is capacitive touch only, so no Wacom layer, no note-taking capabilities here. It has an octa-core CPU, it has 6 GB of LPDDR4X RAM, and 128 GB of storage. It is also expandable via the micro SD card. It doesn't say exactly how much it can, but previously it was up to 2 TB on other models, so I would expect the same thing here. It's running Android 11. That's again, like we should be switching to Android 12 now. It's high time to switch over to that. It has wireless capabilities. It has a rear camera, 16 megapixel with LED flashlight, and it's not just a scanner. It is audio capable, as in it has a microphone and speaker, I think 2 speakers. It has a 3,500 milliamp battery equipped. Color is black. Here are the dimensions, and the weight is approximately 160 grams. I have not weighed it. I will do so in the in-depth review. And of course, the USB OTG capabilities, including the headphones, so you can actually plug in USB to 3.5-inch adapter, and it should work fine. All right, so with the specifications out of the way, let's focus on the device. And this is Boox Palma. Looks familiar? Well, yeah, it does look like a smartphone, right? If you check it out, it has a smartphone Palm type of a format, which I guess was the whole idea, because they wanted to make it like a companion for somebody who already has Boox devices, and to have this kind of for reading on the go. One thing to know is that this is not a SIM compatible device, so you cannot use it as a telephone. So it's not something that you can place a SIM card in and make it a full-on e-ink phone replacement device. That's not what it is. This is an e-ink reader companion device, primarily geared towards somebody who already has an extensive library on their Boox devices, and presumably when you're on the go, let's say commuting or something like that, and you want to read, that this is something that fits in your pocket, it's always with you, presumably it should have good battery life. Again, we will see in the in-depth review, but it's like a pocket e-reader type of a device that allows you to hook up and synchronize with your existing Boox library. So as such, what's also interesting, what's not listed in the specifications there, is this one is GPU enabled. So this one actually has the GPU refresh enabled processor to give it super speedy, awesome ghosting performance and things like that. So let's check out the layout first, and then we're gonna do a couple of things, first impressions here, just to show you a few things. And as I said, it's a quick overview, so let's get through it. On the front, we have a flush screen. Reflectivity, not that great. So super reflective and super sharp. Definitely, if you're a pocket e-reader kind of thing, you need anti-glare protection of some sort. If this is anti-glare, then it's not successful. It needs to be more successful. As far as the rest of the stuff goes, well, the build quality is okay. Again, this is a prototype, so there are going to be some imperfections here. You know, this is a prototype model, not a production model. So there's some imperfections here, which is actually interesting to see how these devices actually go through different iterations until they reach the final level where things are actually quite polished. The front is fairly standard. However, as soon as we flip it onto the back, you get to have this kind of papery, and it feels like paper as well. It's very scratchy and it feels like paper, it looks like paper type of a surface, and it's really good to kind of hold the device, and it gives good tactile response, and it's also not slippery. So that's something that's really cool. Another thing that's not listed in the specification is that Palma is going to be. This one particular model is not, so I can't submerge it, but it is splash proof and waterproof. I don't know exactly which IP standard it's going to be classified, but yeah, it should be at least splash proof, which is interesting to see because it does have a micro SD card slot. So how did they manage to do that? Usually when there's a micro SD card slot, you can't do waterproofing, but it's interesting to see. So that's the front. On the back, we have this nice surface, and there's the 16 megapixel camera, which is actually a full-blown camera with the blitz or the flash as well. As far as the side and the button layouts go, this is a power button, this is a volume rocker, and because it's running a Boox OS, these buttons are actually assignable. So I would imagine that you can assign them like you can on the Leaf, for example. On the top, I guess this would be a microphone. On the bottom, we got, let's get better light here, and better focus, there we go, we got stereo speakers and USB-C for data communication, charging, and USB OTG. And on the opposite side, there is a dedicated button, and this is a refresh button. So that's the layout of the Palma. That's how it looks like. Now, let's see what it does. Right, as I mentioned, I've already set this device up, and I've been using it a little bit because I've been testing it prior to this, so that I know what's it about, and also because it's a prototype, I was testing it so that I can give some feedback to Boox regarding the device. So I'm still in the testing procedure here because there's been so much work with other devices and everything. Yeah, it's been really hectic. So I haven't had too much time to spend with this, but here are a couple of things that I've noticed. And it's running a full-on Android 11 Tab OS version of the Boox OS that you could see on the Tab Ultra and the Tab X and all of the other Tab devices, which means that you have your widgets enabled and you can use them. It also means that you have the new refresh mode, which is HD, balanced, fast, and ultra fast. So when I actually switch to fast, it really is very fast. So as you can see, if we go to, also it has auto rotation because it has a sensor. So this is the ghosting performance and the speed in the fast mode. So let's go to ultra fast and just see how good it actually performs. And it just really performs like any other Tab device, to be honest, which is quite interesting to see, especially in a smaller format like this. But in all of those devices, I'm always surprised by just simply how good the balanced mode is. Yes, it's a little bit more choppier, but the image degradation is not that high as it is on the fast, and also the ghost clarity of ghosting is really good in the balanced mode. So that's the type of screen refresh kind of performance that you can expect to see. Now, you can see that I've installed a couple of different apps here because I just want to show you a few basic things that people will be using this device for. So the first and foremost, let's go and visit, no, I don't want that. I want my library. There we go. So, actually, let's just go first into Kindle, right? And this is primarily going to be an e-reader. The image is good. It's not exceptionally awesome or fantastic, but it's not bad either. It's 300 ppi and it works really well for what it needs to do. Now, as far as the performance goes, it's down to the actual app itself. So it really depends how you actually set it up. Let's go to balanced, for example. It's still fine on Kindle, but much more importantly, you have the full-on Kindle library and Kindle functionality on the go on your Boox tablet that's now in your pocket, which is actually really cool. Now, the additionally cool thing is that it is auto rotation capable, so you can read it like this as well if that's something that you prefer. Either way you choose, the device is actually capable of doing this without any problems, and the crispness is really good, and you can actually read from fair bit of a distance, and you can see the letters quite clearly. Additionally, because this is a Kindle, yes, somebody's absolutely going to ask this, hey, does it have a black theme and can it use a black theme? Well, Kindle app supports that, so any app that supports that, yes, these will be possible to use on any device that Boox has, Palma included. What's especially interesting is that the black theme is actually quite usable because of the GPU. That is something that was not the case before, because you would get these, you still get a little bit of ghosting traces here. But let's say if you go to the highest possible quality, HD, so it's going to be slow, but there is no ghosting, or not too much ghosting. And if you wanted to, you could actually brighten it up quite considerably and increase like the contrast. You could go completely bananas if you wanted. And then you get super, super contrasty and super, super crisp white on black type of a reading surface. Now, to be clear, this is exactly the same thing that you can do on Tab Ultra, Tab Ultra C, and Tab Mini C. And other devices as well. It's just that in this format with the black surrounding frame, it just makes a lot of sense. Incidentally, yes, the front light is there, so it was turned on to minimum, but it doesn't make any difference in this kind of setting here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. As you can see, this is an early version of the software, so there's no oh, there's the reset button. There we go. So things may change from time to time, but yeah, from by the time when you actually see this device available, but this is at least what I have right now. So let's return it back to normal. So this is the normal layout. Okay, very nice and crisp. So let's go back. Now you can also do the same thing with the Kobo, and again you can just change the orientation. It works fine. You can change the formatting, and it just lends itself very nicely for reading and utilizing your both Kindle and Kobo libraries at the same time on the go on the same device. Seeing that it has Bluetooth capabilities, and you can hook up a wireless headphones or earbuds. You also have Audible that you can install, and then you can use for podcasts, audiobooks, or anything like that, which is really cool. So again, a pocket device that's e-ink that actually makes quite a lot of sense. And also you can browse the internet. So let's check out that. How does that experience look like? And here we go. So we are now in fast mode browsing, and the clarity of the image is really good. If you wanted it to be even faster, yeah, you can. And it's actually still really usable. So that's pretty cool. So how is the performance overall? Yeah, opens up nicely. You can read. You can pinch to zoom. You can read in landscape without any problems. It's able to tackle all of these things without any issues whatsoever. So this is a very interesting utilization of the e-ink screen and the GPU combination of technology. So browsing, absolutely you can do it. I haven't tested the YouTube videos, but this is performing exactly the same like the Tab Ultra does, and it's perfectly possible to watch YouTube videos on Tab Ultra. So imagine that it's going to be perfectly possible to watch YouTube videos up to a degree, because it's monochromatic and it has slower refresh rate, but it's fast enough and clear enough that you can actually use it for things of that nature. As far as testing the camera goes, I can't really show you anything yet because I was not able to find the camera app, and I need to actually contact Boox and talk to them about that to see how do I get the app and if this is hooked up in this version of the device that I have or not. But the specifications clearly say that this is a camera, not just a scanner device. So that's also something that is interesting to kind of keep in mind, and something that I'll be bringing to you guys in the in-depth review. And yeah, of course, the volume works as you would expect it to, and the manual refresh works as you would expect it to as well. Well, all right, so this is the Boox Palma. I think it's Niche, of course, like there's no question about it. This is like a niche within a niche. So not even all e-ink users and not all books users are going to be going kind of like, oh, I need this. It's going to be a handful of people that are going to be interested in this. And that's why I think this is going to be like a prototype type of a limited early adopter type of a release. Sort of like what they did when they were testing the market with the Boox Poke to Color, if any of you remember that. That one was also covered on my deep guide. Boy, oh boy, long time ago. But this one I think falls into that same early adopter prototype type of a device. But unlike the Poke to Color, this I think makes quite a bit more sense. But I can see myself actually wanting to have a pocket e-ink device in my pocket, so that I can read while I'm on a train or on a bus, or even waiting for something. You just take it and you read it. Now, whether or not there is a dedicated need for something like this, especially when you consider that you do have the, what's the Leaf 3 called now? Page. Yeah, you have Page, you have Leaf 2. I really don't know. This is extremely specific. I think that this is so specific that if you want like the functionalities that you have, for example, in the Page device, but you don't want the big format and you want this kind of format, then definitely, yeah. The other thing I don't know is, does the Page device have a GPU or not? Because that could be a make or break kind of differentiation between the two, because this one definitely has a GPU, and then that would be an obvious advantage because of the responsiveness and everything that we've actually seen and grown to be used to. Now, what are the things that could be a major put-off from this device and that we will find out in the in-depth review? Well, first of all, it would be the battery life. So that would be the most important thing for me, because if the battery life is not sufficient, then there's no point in this device. And why do I bring it up? Well, because it's a GPU-enabled device, and as we've seen from all of the Tab series devices, they had to gain massive amounts of battery and weight and everything in order to satiate that appetite from the GPU. And the second point that's also going to be very important is, and something that I don't know, is the price. How much is this going to cost? It's a strange one. It fits somewhere, but where it fits a little bit weird. So I'm missing those two key bits of information, the battery life and the price, that will help me understand and actually place and figure out where does the Boox Palma actually lie. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, do let me know down in the comments below what your impression is about this device. Do you miss SIM functionality in a device like this? Is this something that's actually interesting to you? Would you use any kind of SIM functionality, or do you have everything that's online, for you? But then again, you don't have data, so you rely on Wi-Fi, which is a huge thing to kind of take a consideration on. So yeah, on one hand, very interesting device, on another, also very strange device. So do let me know what you guys think and what your impression is of the Boox Palma. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye.